Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Attenzione, today I have a really beautiful gift for all the Juventini that are watching today's video. That's why you have to start putting a maximum of like on today's video. As you can see, I'm wearing a fantastic, beautiful retro Juve kit. It's beautiful. I know you will like it. Why? Because it's a Kappa edition. And I know how much you love these retro vintage Kappa Juve editions. I also know that a lot of you are really in admiration before these beautiful long sleeves Juve kit that we are all missing. The question, of course, is why is Beppe wearing a shirt like that? A unique masterpiece for one reason. Today we are the 9th of November, and for all the Juventini, 9th of November, it's a bit like Christmas. And what are we doing during Christmas? We are going to the store, we are going to the wardrobe, and we are trying to select one of, if not the most beautiful suits or clothes that we have. Why? Because we want to feel good. We want to look beautiful when we are celebrating something as special as Christmas. Well, today, the 9th of November, it's a bit like Christmas, and we want to celebrate in a really great way. One of, if not, let's take away if, the most represented Juve player ever in history. Look at that beautiful graphic from Goal.it, representing Juventus through the history of the Bianconeri. Yes, today, the 9th of November, we are celebrating Alessandro Del Piero's birthday. 49 years old. Happy birthday, Alessandro Del Piero. And usually, during birthdays, we are offering one gift to that person. Today, no. Because it's a bit like Christmas, I wanted to offer a beautiful gift to all of you that are watching. Because we went back to the archive, to the history, and we were able to find back a fantastic archive piece, the first scout report written by someone working at Juve about that young kid, Alessandro Del Piero, that will become Il Pinturicchio, that will become the player with the most goals at Juve, the guy that won everything that was possible to win with Juventus. We're speaking about Alessandro Del Piero. Venturi, that was the scout at Juve back then for the youth academies, he went to watch a game, Inter against Padova Youth Academy sector. And that day he spotted a player, Del Piero, a center forward. Not that big, 175 centimeters, between 75 78, because he was not sure from the distance, born on the 9th of November 74. And 3 days later, on the 29th of October, he started to write something about that kid. What did he wrote that day? Well, I translated it, let's go. He wrote, physical structure, not exceptional, but normal for his age, as well as the athletic qualities. They are not super good, but good. However, the technical background is excellent. It was a predominantly containment match for his team with good pace and great competitive spirit, particularly difficult for him, who was already subject of particular attention from his opponent. Strict marking by Conte. No, we are not speaking about Antonio Conte, but another Conte that was playing in Youth Academy of Inter. He continues, precisely in this situation, the intelligent player was seen. Finding it difficult going forward, he moved back his range of action, playing above all for the team and highlighting an activity and a predisposition for sacrifice rarely found in these very technical players. Every time he came into action, he always did the right thing. Ambidestro, playing with 2 feet, excellent and natural technique, a game viewing time. It was written on the 29th of October 1991 by Venturi about Alessandro Del Piero. The rest is history. He also wrote something that at the end was a bit cancelled, or at least he tried to cancel. He wrote, the player impressed in a really favorable way, in a really positive way. It's from these talents that Juventus has to go back, and these players can become the future of Juventus. I think that we have to say thank you to Venturi, because he spotted one of, if not the biggest talent of Juventus from the past, from the present, and probably also for the future. Of course, it was easier to sign Alessandro Del Piero because we know it. Since a kid, he has always been a Juve fan, and that's beautiful. Since a kid, and forever. And as he's used to repeat a lot of time, it's not because I'm not working at Juventus that I ever left Juventus. I am a Juventino and I will always be, working or not working for Juve. Beautiful messages. Ragazzi, maximum of like for that piece of art that we were able to find. Continue to subscribe if you didn't yet, because now we will not stop speaking about Juventini. We will give you, of course, actuality. But first, let me go back to another Juventino from birth. We are speaking about Claudio Marchisio, that famous number 8 that yesterday was commenting, in a way, the game between Inter and Salzburg in Champions League. He was there in the Giuseppe Meazza, and when the Inter fans had spotted Marchisio, they started to whistle him, they started to insult him and all the community of Juventini. Ragazzi, of course they were insulting him. They all remember that fantastic goal that he scored against them, the goals that he scored against Inter. Of course they insulted him. This is, of course, natural. When you are incarnating Juventus, when you are sharing Juventus, when you are bleeding black and white, well, the Nerazzurri are not really happy with it. So we accept it, and as always, we respond on the field. And hopefully we can respond also on the 26th of November when Juve-Inter will be played. Corriere dello Sport is speaking about that game of Inter yesterday. They won 1-0. They qualified to the next round already after 4 days of the group stages. Yeah, they did well. Yes, they won. Yeah, they were stronger. Yes, they deserve to qualify. On the other side, when I see a bit what Inter social media was posting on Twitter, I see that they are going with Europe is our habitat. Well, let's not exaggerate. Let's not exaggerate. I prefer the version of our friend Gallagher that yesterday, you know it, the singer of Oasis, that he was in a live concert in Milano, and behind him you saw a carton cupboard with Guardiola, and he dedicated that song Don't Look Back in Anger to all the Interisti. That was a really fantastic, beautiful response, because you know it, they lost the final of Champions League again, Manchester City. Anyway, speaking again about Juve, speaking again about Juventini, we spoke about Del Piero, we spoke about Marchisio. Let's speak about another Juventino by heart. We are speaking about Manuel Locatelli, that today, maybe already when I'm recording, is taking some pictures because he's signing his extension of the contract until 2028. And you know it, I'm in a moment of retro, of vintage, of passion, of love. I'm loving everything that is regarding Juve. A lot, I always did, but even more, I feel that Juventinità. And when we have these Juventini, like Rugani that spoke with us, like a Fagioli, like a Miretti that scored his first ever goal against Fiorentina. We have so many Juventini, well, I can only be happy. So congratulations to Manuel Locatelli that later today it will be official. From Juventini by birth, we can maybe speak about Juventini by adoption. So new Juventini that arrive at Juve and they start hearing that heart pumping black and white. We are speaking about a young talent that is Kenan Yildiz. He's already famous for the skills he has and he already showed, but also famous for some celebrations that he was doing off the field. We are speaking about La Linguaccia, the tongue, alla Del Piero, that he posted a year ago on social network. He also did it while recording that beautiful family video that they did with ex-stars, present stars and future stars. Well, Kenan Yildiz has everything to become one of the fan favorites, and if he can score and do that celebration, I'm sure that internet will explode. Well, why am I speaking about Kenan Yildiz? We know it, he's now officially part of the first team of Juventus, but today we were able to read an article where he spoke about why he has chosen Juve, why he has chosen Turkey over Germany, with Germany that is double sad. Why? First one, because he has chosen for Turkey. He said Mama is from Germany, Papa is from Turkey. I played since the youth national team with Turkey. For me, it was not even something to debate from. I feel Turkish, I want to play, and I play with Turkey. That's the first thing that Germany is sad about. And the second thing is because Bayern Munich wanted to extend his contract, but they arrived late. And he said Juventus was the team that showed me the most beautiful sporting project, and that's something that in Germany, especially at Bayern Munich, they will not be happy about. They are not happy about, because you know it, they love to be really proud about they are the best in everything, the first one in everything. Well, Kenan Yildiz, this time he dribbled them and spoke really well about Juventus, the project that they showed him and promised him, and that is actually starting to be also true and real, like when he's speaking about the emotions he had when starting in USA, saying, I watched Chiesa, Vlahovic, and other ones at television, and I was able to play with them. He also go through the story of Juve, saying, I feel now that I'm part of a club that saw players like Baggio, Zidane, and Del Piero playing in it. He was really, really kind, and you feel that he's loving the city of Torino. He's saying that he starts to understand Italian, that his mother actually speaks Italian. Is she half Italian? I have no idea. But he said, unfortunately, she never spoke to me in Italian. But now I start to understand and also to speak a bit Italian. Anyway, from one youth player that I'm wishing really the best for his career in black and white, we are going to also another young player that also was promoted definitely to the first team. We are speaking about Dean Huijsen. A few days ago, when I understood that Gatti would have been at risk of suspension for the game of Inter, and in Cagliari he is at doubt, well, without Danilo, that will not be there against Cagliari, but not even Alexandro. There were some hopes that he would be back. Well, Huijsen is dreaming about a starting spot in the Allianz Stadium against Cagliari. Will it happen or not? Let's see. I'm not sure, but that would be really beautiful for that other player that today is part of the first team. Anyway, Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking, of course, obviously, about Inter that won yesterday. Always him with Lautaro that scored, if I'm not wrong, his 14th goal in 15 games. He is on fire. We know it yesterday from a penalty. By the way, 7 penalties for Inter, the team with the most penalty received from all top 5 leagues. It is what it is. But they also speak about Mercato, and now we are entering the Mercato section with Phillips, Kalvin. Doppio sì alla Juve, double yes to Juve. What are they speaking about? They are speaking about the fact that Manna and Giuntoli were in UK. We know it, in London. They went to Tottenham against Chelsea. They were not able to watch Kalvin Phillips, that by the way in Champions League played a bit. It was something special because he's not playing that much with Guardiola. And apparently they came back with a double yes, the one from the agent of Kalvin Phillips, because it's not because they didn't go to Manchester or to the game of Manchester City that they were not able to meet the agents. Officially, it was to meet the agents of, or the agency of Fagioli, that is actually the same agency that is managing Kalvin Phillips. But they also spoke about Phillips, and yes, they are open to a loan for the player for 6 months, because I told you he's really eager to play with continuity from the start in the games, because he doesn't want to miss the upcoming Euro. So a yes from the agents, but also a yes from Manchester City in a way, because he's not a Guardiola player. Probably one of the mistakes that Manchester City did, because he's absolutely not a Guardiola player. And a lot of people are telling me in the comment section that I'm reading every day, we don't like Phillips, not a great player. Probably it's not a great player for Guardiola, but if we know that Allegri is actually the opposite of Guardiola, the only thing that they have in common, and also me, I want to include myself, is the fact that we have no hair anymore. Except of that, they are really the opposite. Well, maybe Kalvin Phillips is the player that is made for Max Allegri. At the moment, a loan for 6 months would be a great one for Juve. Why? Because they can keep that money to invest on another one. At the moment, the only problem could be the salary that is around 5 million euro for the English player. That is a bit high for the player, or for the parameters of Juventus management and Mercato management. On the other side, 6 months on loan, I tell you, would not be a disaster. If he's doing well, fantastic. If he's not doing well, anyway, he's going away, and we are not obliged to sign him. With that money that we are saving, Juventus is going maybe for a second midfielder. And at the moment, there is, and there will be, a meeting for Rodrigo De Paul. That is also him, one of the huge targets of Juve. We know that it's not easy to negotiate with Atletico Madrid, but De Paul is a big target of Juve. On the other side, Samardzic is still there. Is Samardzic the player that Juventus needs today at the moment? In a way, yes, if you want to anticipate the competitors. But on the other side, Juventus is looking really for a player that is immediately able to give you some impact. And that's why De Paul can be the favorite at this moment in time over Samardzic. The bad news that we see here, especially because I'm a big fan of the work done by Tognozzi and Manna. Tognozzi already left and became the sporting director of Granada in Spain. On the other side, there could be some interest from teams for Manna, Giovanni, that did a fantastic work, that was promoted thanks to meritocracy in the organogram of Juve. Well, it could leave at the end of the year to another team, to Salernitana. There were already some interest from Udinese for our sporting director. Salernitana could be. Why? Because we know it, when you have a new chief of football, at a certain moment it's normal, it's totally normal that he's looking to surround himself by his people. And who are the people from Giuntoli? We are speaking about the first one, Giuseppe Pompilio, because his contract with Napoli is ending in June and he is close to an agreement with Juve. So that sporting organigram of Juve could totally change in 24-25 with Giuseppe Pompilio working under Cristiano Giuntoli, but also with Stefano Stefanelli, that is the current sporting director of Pisa, worked in the past with Giuntoli. They know each other really well, and he's there to strengthen the structure of the sport of Juve. And there is another name that we have to pay attention between Matteo Scalla, currently at Genoa, and Giancarlo Romairone, two other people that Giuntoli would love to have in his team. So pay attention, because a lot of changes could happen in next summer. We finish with another one, the title of Tuttosport today, that is speaking about Vlahovic Morata, double challenge, double game between the two. Because if there is the regret of Morata, that is doing fantastically well with Atletico Madrid, by the way, he just renewed till 2027, he's still opening the door. He still wants to come back. He said it a few days ago through his wife, that his 3 kids are Juventini by birth as well. We started with Juventini by birth. We are ending with other Juventini by birth. Who knows if one day the 3 players or one of them will play at Juve. Well, he always would love to come back. He loves the city of Torino. He loves the club where he actually became a man in, that he won a lot of things with, Scudetti, etc., etc., etc. But at the moment it will be tough. It will be really difficult. On the other side, they are speaking about Dusan Vlahovic, that is in a moment of difficulty. A player that was about to leave in the summer for Chelsea, but they were also speaking about Atletico Madrid. They were speaking at a certain moment about the swap plus money for Dusan Vlahovic to Atletico, Morata to Juve. Well, the guy is in difficulty. He had, again, a fantastic start. Then some problems physically, this time not with the pubalgia, but with the lombalgia, that low back pain. We need him. We need him. We need his goals. We need his performances. We need them back. We already see in the games that he played, especially in the beginning of the season, that he is improving at Juve in the way that he plays, but we need him, especially, and that's why I'm thinking that Max understood the moment of the kid. Him and Chiesa could start already on Saturday against Cagliari, and we have to do a bit the same that we did with Szczesny. Szczesny, that after Sassuolo was again criticized and Szczesny out, Max gave him the trust, he started him, and since then he's doing performance after performance after performance. Fantastic performance after fantastic performance after fantastic performance. We have to do what Max did with Szczesny. We have to do exactly the same with Dusan Vlahovic, because we want to see also goal, 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 goal by our Serbian 23 years old striker. Ragazzi, that was it for me for the video. I told you, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of emotion shared. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you put a maximum of like on today's video. I hope you like the shirt. I hope you like the gift of that archive masterclass piece of that scout report. Let me know in the comment as much as you want. Grazie, forza, Juve.